Good morning. Good Sunday morning. We're going to talk some baseball this morning. Holden, you know me. Gary's decked out in some Braves gear there. Wonderful that they won the World Series because I think we're going to have to deal with this all season long until they miss the playoffs this year. They probably won't, though. And then AP, nice enough to come from a soiree this morning and just stop by and talk some baseball. Good morning, AP. How are you?
Good morning, fellas. Yeah, I'm really good. 2 years. We've been doing this 2 years now here with RPS. Today, 2 years today. It's crazy how time flies. Absolutely crazy. So it's it's good stuff.
Really? I think you guys brought me on in October, maybe? No, it couldn't have been in the middle of the football season. So it's just shortly after you launched. It was beautiful. 2 years we've been around.
Yeah.
You know what? A lot of people said that this place was not going to be around. They laughed. They said nobody launches a DFS and betting site during the pandemic. I thought it was a dumb idea too, but it actually worked out. So, AP, it's kind of worked out, man. You know why it's worked out? Because the content. If the picks weren't good, no one would stay around. But the picks are
okay. Good point. So I'll say that. Like we like any company, we have our struggles. We're not perfect. But what we are is transparent, honest, and I think that there's a lot of value in that. When we put money behind our plays, so that is kind of what sets us apart, and that's the entire team. That's everyone. So, really fun stuff. Proud of where we're at. Proud of where we're headed.
That's pretty awesome, Gary. Congratulations to you. I don't know when you stopped by here, but were you a subscriber, or did they just pick you up and find you?
Yeah, I was a subscriber in the chat. I think I started I subbed probably about 4 or 5 months after RPS was formed, and I was just active in the chat, just doing the same thing I'm doing now for the most part. Providing stuff and data and everything. And then AP saw the value. Definitely appreciate it. And 2 years. It's been a little probably a year and a half for me. Definitely excited to be here 2 years and can't wait for what's coming up.
Yeah, Glock too. Listen, that's the other thing. Like subscribers, if you're in the chat and we see that you're kicking ass, you might get hired. Glaucoma was like that. Gary's like that. AP, anybody else, but it's not just like, okay, you get the picks. Like if you're in the Discord and you're giving good advice, there's a shot we're going to hire you.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, off the top of my head, like I think most people are probably in some way, shape, or form referred into this industry. Yeah, Stevie Boyden. I don't have our list up. I mean, the team is just too big, Holden. Yeah. Putting me on the spot here, but
that's fine.
A lot of people.
Steve Anthony is telling me I started during baseball season. I honestly don't remember when I started. That's fine. But thank you for remembering that, Steve Anthony. I appreciate that. That was a long time ago. 2 years, a long time, guys. Long time. So here's what we got coming up today. We got this baseball show. And then right after this, we got a betting show. If you're into betting baseball, it's me, Joey Work, and JJ. And then after that, we got our NBA show today, too. AP, I don't know what Glock's doing today. He probably doesn't maybe he likes hockey, but it's really going to suck when both Dallas teams, the Stars and the Mavericks, losing a Game 7 on the same day. Do you think Glock's going to get over that?
Well, we'll see. I mean, I think he's more worried about the Mavs than the Dallas Stars, you said?
Yeah, that's a hockey team.
Stars? Okay, gotcha. They're in the playoffs right now?
No,
I'm just kidding.
I've been watching a shitload of hockey this year, man. It's fun to bet, but there was no basketball on last night either, so we didn't have it. Can we actually get a couple?
You know what they had on last night? So we were at a buddy's house, and the dude had bull riding on. I'm like, can we get anything else? Like he was watching bull riding, and then I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, because we couldn't get the Royals game in Coors because it's blacked out here. Then we started watching the bull riding, and it was actually pretty sweet to watch. Those guys get absolutely rocked. I mean, talk about a sport that's just insane. I mean,
the Brazilians are huge into that, man. They just kick some ass. Like the Brazilians are the best rodeo riders. And don't ask me how I know that. I did watch a documentary on it. I think I'm going to take my kids up to Cheyenne and we're going to go to Frontier Days, and I'm going to buy a cowboy hat, and we'll go see the rodeo. It'll be absolutely amazing. Why do you get blacked out? You're in Nebraska, man.
Because all right, so like we use all streaming services here, at least my household, and most of my friends, I mean, we all use streaming services. And KC, the local, I don't know what it is, but they must have bought up all the rights, and so everywhere here it's blacked out. It's crazy. Like,
aren't you close?
So I know it's fine though. The Royals are boring, except for in Coors. I mean, they actually, we're producing runs in Coors, so it's fun seeing them actually, get some home runs and stuff. But no, it was blacked out. And then the Yankees game was boring too, so we switched back to bull riding, and that was the source of the entertainment last night. And then they're asking me, I'm like, can we bet on bull riding? And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't know. I know nothing about it except for these guys get rocked.
Yeah, professional PBR is what they call it, pal. Yeah, let's get going. I think we have everything. We got CS:GO, we got video games. That's the other thing about Run Pure. We got literally every sport. Why don't we just start betting on or playing rodeo? That'll be wonderful. I think you can only bet on it. You can't actually play it in DFS. Do you think that would be a popular sport, AP? If we can get a little rodeo?
I have no idea, but if you can put money behind it, we'll find talent to talent. That's what we're talking about.
We'll hire you if you know anything about rodeo.
You're a bull riding expert. Hit me up. Slide on in.
All right, chat's busy this morning. Good morning. Again, Steve Anthony telling me when I started. Hold on. Yes, you can call me that. I don't care. What's up, buddy? Hi, Alex. How are you? GQ back on 106.7 The Fan. I am not GQ. I did have GQ barbecue yesterday with my son. It was delicious. And Holden grows on you like a flaming hemorrhoid. Thank you, K. Felix Burner. I appreciate that. Okay, let's get into today's slate. How about a like button? We got this. We got Gary here. So, Gary, real quick, we got two different slates on DraftKings and FanDuel today, don't we?
Yeah, so FanDuel, they included the Boston, Texas game and the Coors Field game. So yeah, that's going to throw a little wrinkle into the offenses on FanDuel at least. Definitely don't think I'm going to be on any of the pitchers in that game anyway. So
okay,
and any of those games. So yeah.
Okay, and I wanted to bring this up too. Hold on, I found some notes this morning. So the runs are starting to pick up, Gary, and we can use betting and translate it into DFS, but the unders were covering at a 60% clip 2 weeks ago, and it's down to 53.7. And you're starting to see some crooked numbers. And for the first time this year, we're seeing consistently crooked numbers in Coors. So maybe on FanDuel, we'll keep a mind on that. But have you noticed that? Like the scoring, it's warming up. We're starting to see some scoring.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I'm seeing 80 degrees across the country today. That's a good thing. That's always a good thing for offense. So yeah, I mean, definitely going to start getting off the under bets and getting more on the over bets until they normalize here.
Well, how does that affect your DFS building now that we're starting to see some runs? Are you spending up anywhere, paying down anywhere? How does that affect things?
I mean, it's all slate dependent for me, honestly. I mean, like today, I mean, I think we have 8 or 9 pitchers that are really, it's a good slate for pitching, in my opinion. So I'm just going to continue to attack the worst pitchers on the slate. I think that's going to be a profitable thing moving forward for the most part. So
you just laughed at your own thing. That's great. Good for you, Gary. So all the games today will have at least 70 degrees. We will have some wind blowing out in Minnesota today too. It's going to be low 70s, about a 10 to 12 mile an hour wind blowing out to center field. We got a little wind blowing out at Citi Field today. Again, temperatures in the 70s. Nothing too hot, but at least we're getting temps in the 80s now, and that's good to see. And we're going to start this slate with the Padres and the Braves. We also got some humidity. We like to see that too, Gary. I mean, I don't like to. It's why I don't live on the East Coast anymore, but dang, you start mixing a little humidity in there with the heat. These are good offensive conditions. Let's get into our first game in just a little bit because I want to go pitchers first. We got to get to the pitchers here, Gary, and we'll start with you here. Verlander, obviously, in a smash spot against Washington. Joe Ryan, Carlos Carrasco, Manoah's on the mound today. Tristan McKenzie's been good. Robbie Ray. There's a lot of options pitching-wise, so break it down for us.
Yeah, first of all, I'll start with the San Diego-Atlanta game's about to kick off here in about 20 minutes. It's an 11:35 Eastern time game. So, yeah, that won't be in play for us today. But, yeah, tons of pitching. I think there's a couple opportunities to get a little bit different in this top range too. I don't think anybody's going to play Nestor Cortez today at 10K. I'm seeing like 2% ownership on him.
Wow.
And man, this guy has the lowest Sierra on the slate. He's got one of the highest strikeout rates on the slate. And Chicago, I mean, haven't been really good against left-handed pitching this year. Wind blowing in a little bit in Chicago. I like me some Nestor Cortez today. I mean, Verlander, Manoah, Woodruff, all fine options. I like them all in this matchup. But you're telling me I think my two favorite here are actually Alek Manoah and Nestor Cortez, and they're going to be the lowest owned of the four. Because I'm seeing Verlander and Woodruff with high ownership. Woodruff has been hit or miss this year. I'm seeing spin rates down on him. His curveball is really getting destroyed. It's been a really bad pitch for him. I think he's got something like a 500 ISO against his curveball this year. So I think that might be an opportunity to attack some Miami bats, even in Miami, against a chalky Woodruff here. But yeah, so I definitely like Verlander against Washington. But then Nestor Cortez is a great pivot and will probably be a core piece for me today. And I'm not sure whether I'm going to spend up with two, but I definitely like Manoah too. So in summary, from all the 9K and up, I think I like Cortez 1, Manoah 2, Verlander 3, and then I'll probably be fading Woodruff.
Okay. And the cheap guys?
So going down to the cheap guys, another guy that is clearly mispriced on this slate is Tariq Skubal. He's 6K on DraftKings, but he's 9.3K on FanDuel. That's a clear misprice. I mean, he has been awesome this season. Definitely like him. It's hard for me to get off of him at that price. I mean, he should be 8,500 to 9K on DraftKings. And I love attacking those, but he's definitely going to be the most popular down here. One guy that you could pivot to, Jose Quintana. He's not somebody that we normally like to play, but he's been pretty decent. 5.6K could be a nice little cheap pivot off of a chalky Skubal. So yeah, definitely like Skubal a ton. And then one more guy I'll throw in, or two more guys that I like down here. I mean, pitching's loaded, like I said earlier. I like Carlos Carrasco against Seattle and Robbie Ray on the other side. I like pitching in that game a lot.
I love Carrasco. But is that more of a middle tier build then?
Yeah, he's 8K. Also, I'm seeing 7% ownership on him. So if you get like a Nestor Cortez, Carlos Carrasco pairing, I'm seeing like less than 10% total ownership on the two of them. So could be a great way to differentiate.
What do you think of a Cortez Skubal?
I mean, Skubal, I'm always a Skubal guy. So yeah. I'm going to have a lot of Skubal today. But yeah, Baltimore is definitely not somebody I'm afraid of. But yeah.
The dude in the middle is geeking. I don't know who the dude in the middle is today. So we're all geeking here. That's what we do at RPS. AP, talk to me here. I know you looked at the slate a little bit. Nestor Cortez on the slate. Verlander, who's probably going to be very popular, right? Oh, hold on. I got to hijack this segment. The heat map. The NBA heat map is done today.
Final day. Yep.
Oh, I love the heat map. Thank you, AP. I use the heat map. You know, we do the Up to Lock show. I do it, 4 or 5 times a week. I love the heat map. We going to have that for baseball, or is that the big just NBA? Because
it's tougher for baseball. I mean, the purpose of it is like with NBA, it's the one sport that's just broken out up lock times. And it's like, I'm telling you, going back to the Up to Lock show with whenever JSU, Big T, and K Fallick, when they're on it, and they talk about it. They're like, we're fading the 7 p.m. games tonight. Well, we needed a way for people to be able to pull something up and to have a viable option to where you can just eliminate the 7 p.m. games and, let's find some guys to stack up. Let's find the best players to target in these later games until those core plays come out. So, if anyone has any ideas on how to make that better or suggestions, I mean, I'm all ears. And same with other content too, or a way to develop simple pieces of content for other sports too. I mean, I like the easier, the more simple something is, like in today's world, I think it just makes it easier on all of us. So that's the concept of the playbook, the heat map, the cash chart. The cash chart guys, they do a phenomenal job at that. So, but yeah, pitching. So yeah, subbing in here late. So just looking it over, but I kind of like that. Because like when I look at pitching, like I think it's kind of easy. So a couple of things. One, Woodruff is definitely going to be chalk, 9K there, and fine, you can eat that chalk if you want to. However, I don't think it justifies. Like I don't think we can play him if he's going to be 40%. I mean, he's looked very hit or miss. He's only had 2 good outings on the season. So if he's going to be 40%, I'll gladly fade that and take the savings. The chalk I will eat is Skubal, 6K against this Baltimore Orioles team. I mean, he's been phenomenal on the year. So I'm definitely eating the Skubal chalk. I think he's a phenomenal play. Should be higher owned, but who knows? People are going to want to play Verlander. They're going to want to play Woodruff and some of these other options. Verlander, if I had to spend up, I think I would prefer him. However, I think I'm double punting today. I think I'm going Skubal. Then I'm going Robbie Ray. We can call it that kind of a punt, 7-7, maybe more so mid-tier. I like this matchup for Ray. On the season, the Mets have been striking out against left-handed pitchers at a really high clip. Everyone in their lineup, they have over a 20% strikeout rate against left-handed pitching, and we know Ray is going to throw the heat. He looked good in his last outing. Maybe Gary. Pitch count for him, his number of pitches. Any concern there? I mean, that's kind of my weaker point because I'm not yet fully adjusted to where I'm like diving into these guys' pitch counts. But on the surface, when I look at it, that might be the only concern. But if he gets going and if he's mowing down this somewhat tough Mets lineup, I think they're going to keep him in there. Would be my take. So I find, at first look, Skubal, Ray lineups, that's gonna open up a lot for me, and it's gonna allow me to go back to the Yankees. And we live in a recency bias world with the Yankees not, dominating yesterday. It's gonna lower their ownership. So I'm gonna love those big boy bats, and I'm gonna need a way to get them in there today. So I'm gonna do that with Skubal and Robbie Ray most likely. And then I think I'm running 3 builds today. Then what I do is I go based off of who our team likes. So I'll take a couple of Gary's pitchers. I'll take a couple of Uncle T's pitchers, and that's how I'm building today.
All right, Gary's in the chat, and he's not happy. We got almost 250 watching. You got 79 likes. I mean, Gary, this is an insult to Gary, is what it is. And you guys are just being mean to the poor guy. So let's go. Let's get it up. You guys know how to do it.
It's 2-year anniversary at RPS.
Shit.
2 years since we've been providing just straight winners every day in and day out. 248 watching, only 80 likes. Very hurtful. I feel like I have to fill the JT mold in his absence today.
Yeah, we're not too afraid of you, though, is the difference. Like, JT's really scary. You're Gary. That actually rhymed too. What a great little thing I got going there. All right, like button would be great. Subscribing would be great. Bottom right-hand corner. It says subscribe. It's a little red button. So go do that, and then you will get notifications every time we're on. Where are we today? 8.77. We had another 1,000 recently. So we got to 10K. Hoop said he's throwing a gigantic party. So that's going to be awesome too. 2 years.
Whoa, Hoop said what?
He's going to throw a gigantic party.
If what happens?
Once we get to 10,000 YouTube subscribers.
Okay.
We'll
hold him to that.
Well, I don't think he said that, but I know that he said he was going to give some stuff away. So can we just go with that? Just go with it.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, just go with it. Okay. So let's go. There you go. They're listening, Gary. They felt so sad. I mean, that was just a pity-like party. And that's what I love.
I must be a little bit scary.
I think it was more pity. Now, do you want to go with game by game or position by position? I prefer game by game, but I'll leave it up to you, Gary.
I definitely prefer game by game.
Well, good. Let's do that. AP, you take your time. You keep grinding. You keep marinating, man. We're going to start with this Houston-Washington game, 135 Eastern time game. It's Verlander against Washington. I mean, I suppose the most contrarian stack on the slate would be Washington. Why do we want to bother with that? And then Houston's got the highest implied total. So how popular is Houston going to be today, Gary?
I think they're going to be not as popular as they probably should be.
Really?
Yeah, maybe Altuve. Altuve will probably see a little bit, but I don't think. I mean, you have. I don't know. They always come in under owned, especially if they're facing a lefty. These lefties are going to go not as high as they should be. Alvarez and I'm not seeing Kyle Tucker. Did he get hurt? I'm not seeing Kyle Tucker in the projected lineup. But anyway, I mean, none of these lefties are ever owned when they're facing a lefty. And I'm going to continue to play. I play Houston more than anybody. Maybe Stevie plays them a little bit more than me, but I'm definitely on the Houston train here. One of my favorite stacks, but like I said, I don't think they're going to be as owned as they probably should on this slate. And I don't hate on the other side taking a shot on some of these power bats for Washington. Juan Soto, Josh Bell, Yadiel Hernandez, all these lefties that hit righties really well. Great spot for leverage on the slate, in my opinion.
Okay. AP, checking out the Astros a little bit. Again, we're waiting for their lineup, so we don't have it out yet. But what do you think about them going up against Patrick Corbin, who, by the way, is coming off his best start of the season, 5 shutout innings, but he sucks.
He does. But I mean, he has 3 good starts in a row. And then one of those starts was in Coors Field where he pitched 8 innings. So I love stacking against Corbin. But he's just been able to like get out of trouble, and the matchups haven't been like as easy. And I don't know. I'm really bad with ownership projections. That's not like a strong suit of mine. But it seems like the Astros have to get some ownership here. So I don't know. I mean, I think I'm going to compare this spot to maybe like the Yankees. And again, I will admit I'm bad with ownership projections. But hopefully we could get some ownership maybe on expensive Yankees bats over these Astros bats. So here's how I play. You're either full stacking 5-man Astros stack against Corbin or full fading it. It's one or the other for me. No mixing, no like, oh, I'm going to get a sprinkle of this guy, 2 of this guy, or a one-off. No, not against Patrick Corbin. It's a full stack or nothing. I guess if you want a one-off, maybe Jose Siri. That dude's been he had a monster day yesterday, right? So, but again, I would say full stack or fade it. If you think it's going to be chalky. And I'm not playing the Nationals here. I think we're going to have better opportunities with hitting later on in the slate, and I'd much rather just play Verlander. He's looked good to start the season. And but I mean, if you want to guess who's gonna get a one-off there, sure, be my guest. You can go ahead and do that, but I'd much rather stack.
Yeah, I think the turnaround here, and I was looking at a pitch, whatever pitch effects or whatever the hell it is. Corbin was throwing a lot of 4-seamers. They're sitting out over the plate. Now he's throwing sliders, sinkers, and stuff, and the ball's moving. So I think that has something to do with his improvement. We'll see if he can do it against Houston today. Let me give you the promo code here. Get bets. Okay. Again, I'm going to head over to the bet side whenever this show is over. Joey Work, one of the best handicappers I've ever seen. JJ has been doing this since he's 6 years old, and Get Bets adds on. It's free. So if you're already a subscriber, go back, Get Bets, GETBETS. You get an add-on for free for the first month. You can try it out, see how successful you are. So that's what we got there. Let's get on to game number 2, Gary. There was something else I wanted to say about that last game, but I forgot. So who the hell cares? Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Here's an interesting one too. Last night was an anomaly. 14-3-1, the over in Cincinnati's last 18 games. What do we look at this here? I guess we're just looking at potentially another blow-up spot here. The Reds are playing better. It's not a great park though, Gary. Any plays from game number 2?
So I'm seeing a lot of ownership on this Pittsburgh team, and I can't play a chalky Pittsburgh team. I know Hunter Green's been kind of bad, but yeah, I'm seeing massive ownership on Gamble, Hayes, Reynolds, Vogelbach to a certain extent. I can't play a chalky Pitt team. They're just not one of those. They're not an elite offense, and when they're chalk, I'm fine just going the other way. And actually, I do like I mentioned Quintana a little bit earlier. He has been pitching a little bit better. I started looking at some BVP numbers, and Cincinnati has hit Quintana pretty well. This lineup is definitely watered down now. You got Matt Reynolds leading off. Brandon Drury is 5.1K. I mean, nobody's going to play this guy. Tommy Pham, 4.7K. I like the Cincinnati side here a lot more than the Pittsburgh side. And daytime Colin Moran. He's batting ninth, though, against Quintana. Daytime Colin Moran always comes through for RPS. I think we see
Colin Moran. Lock him in.
Lock him in.
All right. You know what? Was it last weekend we did the show? And you guys won me some money, man, because you had Colin Moran and some other jabroni out there. And my plays of the day, I don't do anything particularly well, but my plays of the day have definitely been hitting this year. So, and yes, I'm very disappointed, Alex. No Donnie Johnson, our favorite catcher with the Blue Jays. Not going to happen. AP, though, Reds, Pirates. Do you even want to test the waters here?
I mean, I think I would rather play like Jose Quintana.
Okay.
I'm not touching I mean, you can make a case for some of these guys, but no, with temperatures heating up, with runs starting to be produced, yeah. I want full stacks, and there's no way I'm fully stacking the Reds here. So, and then no, if the Pirates are going to be chalky, I mean, no way. I'm not going to play those guys, and I am seeing a little bit of chalk. We'll see if that gets adjusted or not. Because how in the world would those guys be chalky? Is it just because of the matchup?
It's Hunter Green's the worst pitcher in the history of the world.
They also have they have the second highest total on the slate.
Yeah.
So
I like Hunter Green. He's gonna be good someday, but right now it's not good. Chalk Pirates. If I lose, I'll lose today. AP, I'll be fine.
Yeah, but if you do want to play it, full stack it. Don't like 2 or 3 man it. Go full stack and find a way to get different. So that's how I would play it.
Blue Jays, Rays, Gary, Manoah. I don't want to mess with him. Jeffrey Springs. Anywhere we want to go here with the Jays at the Rays.
I'm not really thrilled with Toronto on the spot. Their total I'm seeing is 3.5. I don't think Springs is that good to warrant a 3.5 total, but I don't see myself paying up for these guys today. Just other spots I like more, and I like Manoah a ton, so I'm definitely not going to have any Tampa Bay.
Okay. AP, do you want to mess with this game or just move on?
I mean, Springs is only going to be in there for a few innings, right?
Yeah.
And then it's so no, I mean, I'm always down with the Blue Jays, like George Springer, Vlad, any of those guys. Like if I'm looking for like that 3-man power stack, I'm always looking at the Blue Jays. So I'm fine with their side if you want to go there. And then I don't like attacking Manoah either. I think it's going to be definitely a very contrarian spot. It's not like, I mean, he's had some really good starts. Actually, he's been pretty good. It was just his last outing against the Guardians where it was, a little bit rougher, but it's not like they hit him that hard or anything. So tough spot here for Tampa Bay. Probably a spot I'm going to be fading on both sides. So, yeah, we'll keep it simple.
Good question. What does he talk? Well, yeah, good question. Butthole Jenkins. Why is Colin Moran hitting 9th? Well, good. Now nobody's going to be on him, Gary. Nobody. Give me his 3-4 at bats and hopefully he knocks a whole bunch of dudes in. It's a good question. It's a very lefty. Is that why he's down there?
Probably.
Yeah. Who cares? That Reds bullpen will come in too, or that Pirates bullpen will come in too, and that'll be nice. Like button will be nice. We're gonna get to 200 likes. That's basically what we get every single Sunday. That'll be great. It'll make us feel really good, and the rest of the day will be amazing. Let's go do that. Tyler Wells, Tariq Skubal. You don't want to mess going against Skubal, so no Orioles today, Gary. What about the Tigers though, going up against Tyler Wells? Do we feel any comfortable going there?
Yeah. No, I'll pass. I can't play any offense here.
What about you, AP? You want to make it a quick one?
I mean, yeah, we're playing Skubal. So Cedric Mullins. I mean, this dude, if you wanted a one-off and if you weren't playing, I'll give you 2. Jorge Mateo and Cedric Mullins. Those 2 dudes, always fine with playing. And then, but yeah, I don't really. Let me pull up their numbers against. It's not like their numbers are that good against lefties either. So I think the matchup is just too good for Skubal. Chalk we want to eat for sure. Fading Baltimore. If you want to go Mullins and get contrarian, fine with him. Same with Mateo. And then Detroit, I'm not. I mean, I don't know. Have you got like I don't know if I've played Detroit all year, and I could go through most of the season probably being fine with not playing Detroit. So I'll probably be off. Yeah.
Okay, then fine.
I mean, have you guys played Detroit yet this year? Any of these bats? I'm curious.
Dude, no. I don't even remember.
You don't remember? You don't remember, Holden?
I don't remember when you guys hired me. What that was supposed to be a very special day. So how am I supposed to remember if I played in the Tigers? On paper, probably on a day slate.
You know, they got Meadows and Yavi Baez. I mean, you got some guys there, but I don't think I'm going to get there today.
Probably on a day slate. I played the Tigers, but that was about it. Not a full slate. Good. We'll just keep moving along here until we find something else that we like a little bit. So that was Baltimore, Detroit. Hey, Gary, Jesse Winker, he is the new Antichrist in Citi Field. They hate him now. He hit us a big home run last night. He waved off to. I love playing guys in New York when the crowd hates him so much. That's a narrative play, though. Mets in Seattle. I can't imagine Seattle's going to be very popular. Do we want to run it back with New York?
No, I like both pitchers of this game a lot. But I mean, we have to get different somewhere. I mean, neither one of these offenses are going to be popular at all. I definitely don't trust the Mets. I would definitely side, if I was playing any bats here, I definitely would side with the Seattle side. Because Carrasco can, I mean, while he's been good, I mean, he can unravel pretty much at any time. So I don't hate these bats a little bit. I don't know if I would full stack them, more of a secondary 2 or 3 man. They are kind of cheap though. Outside, I mean, Winker's 3,400, like you mentioned. You got all these guys, 3,600 for Julio Rodriguez. Ty France is 4,300. JP Crawford's been hitting well, 4,200. I don't hate the Seattle here for a 2 or 3 man stack, but definitely not a 5 man.
Okay. Gary, do you get some one-offs or a mini stack, or just fade the Mets and Seattle? I like both pitchers.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Seattle bats for a mini stack.
Did I not say AP? AP?
Yeah.
Yeah. Said Gary. Shocker.
Said Gary. I mean, all right. So I know I disclosed I like Robbie Ray. However, we know he's a pitcher that can give up home runs and gives up a ton of fly balls and typically a lot more hard contact. So I will say, if you're multi-entering and if you're not playing Robbie Ray, consider a little, Pete Alonso, Starling Marte, some of these guys that could have home run upside in this matchup for sure. I think if you're not playing Ray, the Mets would be a perfect 3-man power stack in your 5-3 stacks or whatever, or even 2. But just because I could definitely see Ray giving up a home run or 2. But he's going to throw strikes as well. So that's kind of what I'm banking on. So Pete Alonso, fine with him. JD Davis, maybe. Lindor, Marte, any of those guys, if you're not playing Ray. And then, I agree with Gary on the Mariners side. I don't know how much I'll get of them, but you could go there too. I don't like this game, but you can definitely make the case to play a couple of these guys.
Okay. So here's
I want to interject here for a second. So I will say that the lineup for the Mets this year has a 28% strikeout rate versus left-handed pitching, and they have a WOBA of 286. So very bad against lefties this year.
So Robbie Ray's in the circle of trust?
I think so.
Ooh, okay.
I agree with the stats there, but on the surface, just looking at, on paper, looking at some of these names, there's definitely some guys there that could give them some trouble. But diving into the stats, which I'm going to trust, I definitely like Ray in this matchup.
Okay. So here's what you get at RPS. If you're not already a subscriber, you get winners. But Uncle T today made the playbook, and the playbook's awesome because he gives you, or whoever's doing the playbook, Gary does it, AP is going to be doing it. You get, 6, 7, 8 pitchers, the top pitching options, both sites. You get 5 options at every single position except for outfield, where you get a boatload of them. So that's good. It has prices, projections, batting order, everything. So Uncle D did a great job on that today, plus a slate strategy. You get that as well. We still got the NBA going on. Today is our last 2-game slate. AP, as you know, last year when we went to the NBA and we had showdowns, I don't know if there's anything more profitable last year than Showdown. So make sure you're checking out our NBA content as well. It is still going on. I love hosting those shows. And then in the playoffs, once we get to the conference finals, which is coming up, next week? The content's pretty damn hot. So you're going to want to check that out. If you're not a subscriber, go for it. And while you're at it, just type in Get Bets for a promo code. You get the bet side for free for a month. Not bad. I'm gonna continue to plug that show coming up next. Joey Work, JJ, tremendous baseball bettors. We'll be hosting that on the bet side. It'll be free on the YouTube, on the old YouTube. Our next game here, Gary, Milwaukee and Miami. Milwaukee and Miami. You got anything for me on this game? Because I personally don't want to target each side. Now, I know you got to get contrarian somewhere, but I'm not even Milwaukee today. I don't like that ballpark. I don't like anything about it.
Pulling a full turn on Milwaukee. Milwaukee's my favorite stack on the slate today.
There we go, Gary.
I don't see.
I see on him, and Gary's like, it's my favorite.
I mean, this Eliza Hernandez guy has just been terrible. I mean, he's got a 299 ISO allowed to lefties, 233 ISO allowed to righties, middling, 20% K rate, higher, 11% walk rate to left-handed bats, high fly ball rate, which I know they're in that park. I mean, I get it. I just don't. I mean, this guy has just been terrible. Like, I think he's the worst pitcher on the slate. And like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm going to target the worst pitcher on the slate every slate from here on out. And this is it. These Milwaukee bats are priced up. You got Wong at 5,600, 5,400 for Adames. Yelich has been heating up 5,700. I don't think they're going to be owned at all in this spot because, like you said, people don't like playing bats in this park. I think their total is too low, and I'm going to be well over the field on Milwaukee today.
Okay, so now I
might have some Miami too. I don't think Woodruff has been hit or miss this year.
He's struggling.
And they're pretty cheap. So yeah, I like both sides, but definitely Milwaukee is my favorite on the slate.
Wow. So I like I love giving catchers for my plays of the day. It's usually Donnie Johnson, but today it's going to be Narvaez again. So I said I wanted nothing. That was the one guy that I like. I think it's just a great matchup for him. AP, you just heard the spiel. I mean, neither pitcher has great numbers. I don't like the spot, but Gary said he likes it, so I'll defer to him. Talk to me here. Anything you could dig up?
I mean, yeah, we had 4 home runs at this park yesterday. So, maybe the balls are back to being juiced. I mean, the Brewers, they're hitting good. Colton Wong, never have a problem with him, especially against a righty. Yelich priced way up. I think I'm gonna prefer Yankees power over him. But any of these guys, Narvaez, I mean, any of them, I'm good with as well. Jace right there, he's always the cheapie. I always like him, 3.4K. I always like him in the wraparound stack with Wong at second base, so you can play Jace at first or third. Play Wong right there at second. I'm definitely okay with that. And play their catcher too. You got a nice little tasty, like 7, 8, 9, 1, little wraparound, reach around stack, if you want to call it that. I like doing that on Sundays.
I don't want to call it that, AP.
Sundays, I'm telling you, Sundays, try to be different in like little sharp ways throughout the season, and it's going to be profitable. And that goes for many sports except for NFL. NBA, it's something I always do. Baseball, it's always something I do. We always see kind of different lineups, different things going on. So I would definitely do that like 7, 8, 9, 1, 2 type of stack there if you're stacking this game up. So Brewers for me, I'm not touching the Marlins. And I mean, I think their lineup got a little bit better for Woodruff too. So you gotta imagine he's going to be chalked today. So
who are your favorite guys from this one?
Colton Wong, Jace Peterson, Narvaez would be the guys I'm looking at.
What are you thinking, Gary?
I mean, I like everybody. I like everybody in this lineup. I'll have variations of every
Rowdy?
single one of them.
Will Rowdy
I
tell us?
definitely like Rowdy. I mean, Rowdy has the best ISO and WOBA numbers versus righties this year. So definitely going to have a ton of Rowdy.
I'm gonna have to play him over Moran, and it really hurts my feelings. But Tellez is 5,500 on DraftKings.
He's kind of cooled off too, which is disappointing, but a good matchup for him. So I agree with Gary there.
All right, let's continue to move on here. Like button would be great. Where are we right now? 155. Let's get to 200. That would be terrific. KMB Squid. What up, Squid? Tristan McKenzie gonna mow. Nice, Kevin. No, he won't. Okay, we got some differing opinions today. That's wonderful to hear. McKenzie, we don't have the Twins lineup yet, Gary, but McKenzie Ryan, this is not a bad pitching matchup, right? Do we want to mess with this game?
Not really. I mean, maybe. So I'm a sucker to play Cleveland this year. I don't know what it is about them. Jose Ramirez. I mean, they've done pretty well this year. I don't like typically picking on Ryan. I think he's a good pitcher. I think he's going to be a very solid pitcher moving forward. He's coming off 2 subpar outings against Houston and Baltimore. I like Cleveland side more here than the Minnesota side. McKenzie, I mean, he's hit or miss too, but he's coming off two great performances against Toronto and Oakland. I mean, everybody pitches well against Oakland. So I don't hate Minnesota, but they're just a team that I'm never really on for DFS. So yeah, definitely prefer Cleveland here.
AP, Cleveland, Twins, anything?
Yeah, I mean, Tristan McKenzie's he looks smooth out there. He's always been like a high strikeout pitcher. I just think going back, last season, but the control's there. I mean, he just seems to be much more in control, and the results show DFS wise, 20, 22, 28 in his last 2 outings. Decent matchup here. I would like him more if Buxton was out of this lineup, and if Buxton's in, he's a guy that we can look at for sure. So it's really going to depend on this Twins lineup that they roll out there today. And then on the Guardians side, they don't strike out much. Like I do think Joe Ryan is fine. He's a guy that looks like he should be decent. But man, if you just look at this lineup for the Guardians, there's not many strikeouts in there, and they're patient. No. And they've been very good, especially against right-handed pitching this season. So honestly, what I would do is in stacks, I would look at, because I don't think a lot of people want to like stack against Joe Ryan. And so I think what people are going to do is you're going to see a lot of people use Jose Ramirez as like a one-off. And to get different, I think you could full stack the Guardians up here, and you're definitely going to be different, especially if you're multi-entering. I would definitely consider that. So yeah, I would avoid the Jose Ramirez one-off unless you like doing that type of stuff. That's more of like a cash type of play, I think, for sure. So Stephen Kwan, Jose Ramirez, Miller, any of these guys, I think are fine in a stack.
You know what, AP? I know you like this Yankees White Sox game, right?
It has to get ownership. As we're going through this, it has to get ownership because there's not like many good spots.
But is it? I mean, you don't want to target Cortez? I don't want to say it takes any of the White Sox out completely, but do you want to go up against Kopech?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to trust the bats here. They've been hitting they've been the bats here have been absolutely money. It's been a printer if you've been on it. And I think having two decent pitchers on the mound and their prices, hopefully will keep ownership down. And that's what we want in baseball. So I don't know. I like it. I'm really curious to see what Gary has to say on this game though.
Gary?
Yeah. So I don't know. I think Kopech is the real deal. I've been on the Yankees train too. I played them again yesterday. Let me down. I'm not going to go back to the Yankees here. I'm going to be off the Yankees in the spot. I just think Kopech is the real deal. I'm trying to find my numbers that I had on him earlier. Hold on. Yeah, I mean 26% strikeout rate. His walk rate's a little bit elevated there. He's got one of the lowest expected ERAs on the slate. Yeah, I don't know. I always get the Yankees wrong though, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm not going to have any Yankees today.
No Yankees. No Yankees.
No Yankees.
Okay. So we're done with the DK slate, right? We got Boston, Texas, and the Royals and the Rockies on the FanDuel slate. As far as that goes, we do have 2 lineups. We got the Rangers lineup out. We got the Royals lineup out. The Royals offense is disgusting, but then they came to Coors, and this whole offense has gone bananas now. So before we get to the FanDuel breakdown, Gary, I want to get that from you. Like button would be great. I want to get to 200. That's what we normally get to on Sunday. Don't hurt our feelings. And then subscribe to our YouTube channel. It'd be awesome. Bottom right-hand corner, little red button, sideways triangle. You can go and do that. And last thing I'm going to plug here is early NFL best ball. Anybody play best ball this early in the year? I know there's a lot of people. I bet you Simon does. Push underdog early NFL best ball, $10 million best ball mania 3 contest. Do it. All right. Go to underdog, use the code RUNPURE. You get a sign up bonus, $100. They will match up to $100. Okay, Gary, I don't play FanDuel, but I'll let you roll through this here. KC at the Rockies, Daniel Lynch, Austin Gumber, and the offense, it's just there. I mean, the total is only 11 today, too. Maybe we go over that. What do you got?
I mean, it's hard not to play both of these teams on FanDuel. I think it's definitely the best hitting environment on the slate by a long shot. They've been crushing all weekend long. I'm gonna have a lot on FanDuel. I'm doing 150 on FanDuel today. I'm gonna have a lot of both of these teams, including some game stacks. But probably be 2 of my higher owned stacks on FanDuel.
Okay, very good. AP, I don't know how much you've looked at the Boston.
You said Royals, so my
all right, you know the Royals. Let's go.
I mean, I know they've been terrible, except I've stacked them up a little bit at Coors, and it paid off 2 days ago, and they're lower owned than what I thought. And then Salvi, hit one out of the park yesterday, which was nice to see. Here's the thing: Salvi, Hunter Dozier, Michael Taylor, who's batting second. Mm-hmm. And then Witt, who's woke up just a little bit, and he's good against lefties. That's where I would go. I'm off MJ Melendez. Bobby Witt's fine, and I'm off Riviera and Lopez, and the Santana I'm off too. So the stack, if you just want to, and this isn't saying much because like the Royals haven't been good, but the guys that are starting to wake up, definitely Dozier, Perez, Taylor, who was good again yesterday. That's where I would go. But then, I mean, we can attack Daniel Lynch here, I think, in Coors. I mean, pulling up his stuff. I mean, KC pitching hasn't been good. The bullpen hasn't been that great either. So I like the Rockies. And, usually I'm not like a fan of stacking up Coors, but I have been. It just seems like the runs have been extra insane lately. So I don't know what's going on, but it's like, man, 14-10 with the Royals. Yesterday or 2 nights ago there. And then I think the Rockies put up 10 runs yesterday. So I think we see a lot of runs produced again in this one today.
Okay. Let's get to our stacks and then we'll get to our plays of the day. Gary, you love Milwaukee. Give me 2 stacks that you love. One being Milwaukee, obviously. Who's the other one?
I'm going to say, I'm going to say Cleveland.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say Cleveland. Yep.
What do you like about Cleveland?
I love playing this team. They're gonna be low owned. Another guy in that Cleveland stack that's been raking. It's a lefty versus righty matchup, which is good. He's going to be batting in the 7th hole. Andres Gimenez, he's 3,300. You just take a look at his game logs. I mean, he's producing every night. He's too cheap. But I like full stacking here. Like AP mentioned earlier, I think a lot of people are going to use a Jose Ramirez one-off tactic, and I think full stacking this team against Joe Ryan in a good hitting environment will be profitable today. So I definitely like Cleveland here.
AP, I know on FanDuel, you like what's going on out here at Coors. Give me a stack or 2 that you're really going to be on today that we can look for in your corp.
The more so going through it like we did, I really like that because it got me to realize that look, like Astros, they have to be chalk today for sure against Patrick Corbin. Pirates could even get some ownership too. I like Gary's call on the Guardians. I think you can go there. I think so. This Tristan McKenzie, I do think he's in play. You can play him. with that in mind, I do think you could stack against him too. I just think, man, he's only given up 1 home run on the season. I think if Buxton's in the lineup, you stack the Twins. I think that's going to be pretty contrarian on the slate. And then I'm going back to Yankees, White Sox too. I know 2 good pitchers, but I'm trusting the power there. And I'm hoping ownership is low with everyone going to the Astros on the slate. And then the Brewers a little bit too. Gary, you talked me into that one. I like them as well.
One thing I will mention too that helps AP's Minnesota call is Tristan McKenzie does lead the slate in exit velocity allowed. Exit velocity allowed on the season and on the slate. So, yeah,
we need that line. I like that one a lot. Like, and you could this is why you run 3 to 5 lineups or more in baseball. You could like McKenzie, and then in a different lineup, you can stack against him. I mean, you can definitely do that type of stuff. But for me, Buxton has to be in the lineup for me to lock that in.
AP has the gentleman's play of the day. I think Gary has the Braves homer play of the day. Are we still on that? As you can see, Gary, with the Brave stuff. Before they give that, let's try and get the likes close to 200. And make sure you hit it on the way out, too. That would be much appreciated. Let's do it. Gary's you're not the gentleman. Gary's Braves homer play of the day.
Going to Milwaukee. This guy's been pretty hot recently. I think he's coming back to maybe a little bit of MVP form from a few years ago. Christian Yelich is my Braves homer / groundhog play of the day.
Oof. I mean, between him and Stanton, he would go Yelich today.
I'm taking Brewers over Yankees today for sure.
Okay, very good. Let's go, AP. What do you want to get to with your play of the day?
Yeah, let's. I'm gonna go with. Let's see. I'm gonna go with. No. I got him. I'm gonna go our boy. I like how he's sitting right now. We don't have this lineup out yet, so it's a little frustrating. But Gary Sanchez, if he's hitting in that 5 hole, McKenzie does give up bombs to right-handed hitters, and I like how Gary's hitting right now. So, all right, Gary Sanchez, if he's in.
Yep. I'll throw mine out. My picks have been good on the one-offs, and I'll just Gary. I know I said there was nothing in that game, and then we start digging in. I love Narvaez against righties. Let's go Omar Narvaez, who is batting 7th for Milwaukee, and I know AP was talking about the bottom of that order too. So we got 2 Brewers going today, and then AP's pick as well. All right, before we get out of here, want to remind everybody the code, sign up for Run Pure Sports at runpuresports.com. The code is GetBets. You get a free month of our bets content. I'm heading over to that side. So if you haven't checked it out, Run Pure Bets. We got a big following on YouTube here then. So subscribe over there. It's me, Joey Work, and JJ. And then AP, we got the NBA show coming up today as well, right? We're about, an hour, 10 minutes away?
Yeah, we do. I'm going to hop on with BigT and JSU, close it out right, and find the winners. Last 2 game slate of the season. We got 2 game 7s. Today is going to be incredible. And speaking of that, we got BigT on the NASCAR playbook today, and it's looking mighty tasty. So BigT's NASCAR package is back in full swing today. Make sure you're playing NASCAR, and make sure you check out the playbook to look at BigT's work.
BigT's NASCAR playbook. I love it. I absolutely love it. That'll do it. Simon, thanks for making this happen today. AP, thanks for getting over here and doing some work today. Appreciate that. Gary, always wonderful to see you. Like button on the way out would be great. Helps us with the algorithm. We love the algorithm. And that's about it. For Gary, for AP, I'm Holden. Simon, you know what to do. Get us out of here.